Introducing Leaf Compost Service, a new natural landscape maintenance service that makes use of the natural resources in your yard. Identifying opportunity in a crowded market. The landscape industry as a whole continues to grow, and maintenance is the fastest growing sector in the business. Industry professionals agree that environmentally conscious services and sustainable techniques are growing priorities for younger customers. The Leaf Compost Service falls into a niche aspect of the landscape maintenance division. While compost services for organic waste and food are available, none include the leaves in your yard as part of the compost service. Incorporating the leaves yields a larger mulch for you to use in your gardens. Leaf compost combines the annual chores of leaf removal, mulching, and the passion for recycling into a shredded leaf compost and home ecosystem. And one quote that inspired me from Harold Enger, who is an industry expert and trainer, said that millennials have different sets of values and see the world as a much more delicate place that needs protecting. We need to be more sustainable in our program offerings and in which products we use. This is where leaf compost can make a difference. Now addressing the problem. Managing leaf removal for a personal household can consume an enormous amount of the residents' time and effort each year. The alternative of hiring a leaf removal professional to handle the collection and bagging of leaves can be costly. Often private companies and public departments utilize landfills to dispose of leaf waste. As Americans have become increasingly interested in protecting the environment, many look for personal everyday changes that collectively can make an impact. There is an unmet need in the market to manage leaf control in a responsible way that reduces our waste output in the environment and enables residents to reuse it for their gardening benefit. So now I want you to understand the competitive advantage that leaf compost offers. First, professionals manage the leaf collection and shredding using commercial equipment over the course of a few visits in the fall season. For customers that prefer removal from the property, the leaves will be composted into mulch at an off-site facility. Upon request, the mulch is delivered 6 to 12 months later for the consumer to spread. For those who wish to compost in their own yard, a sizable designated compost area is required to aggregate the shredded leaves. Based on the pile size, other planned inputs to the leaf pile, and climate, a maintenance plan is developed which involves turning the contents of the pile bi-monthly and adding environmentally friendly accelerators. This will turn the shredded leaves slowly into compost for your gardens over time. A leaf composting service removes the burden of leaf removal while providing cost savings down the road by yielding mulch for use in garden beds. There's a cost savings in hiring a leaf composting company compared to the cost of leaf removal and mulch acquisition combined. There's also a net benefit to the environment, as customers are reusing the leaves rather than sending them to a landfill. For households that wish to reduce their carbon footprint, leaf composting is a new approach similar to composting food waste and recycling to minimize the garbage generated. The leaf compost process takes away the burden of collecting leaves in your yard. Minimal maintenance is required to turn the pile and add accelerator throughout the year, which converts the shredded leaves into a mulch soil. Customers can use the mulch 6 to 12 months later in their garden beds. Targeting the market. The target market interested in leaf compost are consumers with substantial leaf burden that are willing to pay for such services and also require mulch for garden beds and seek sustainable lifestyle choices to lower their impact on the environment. It will likely be someone who is already paying for leaf removal services or is considering due to the burden it places on their household. We anticipate the customer to have the following attributes: upper middle class homeowners, those with a yard of a third an acre or more and substantial leaf burden, individuals that self-describe as environmentally conscious and wish to reduce their impact on the environment, those with garden beds who maintain them annually. As a new small business, we will target the Delaware Valley or tri-state area, which includes Philadelphia and its suburbs, Wilmington, South Jersey, Delaware, Montgomery, Chester, and Bucks counties. These regions all have affluent communities and a plethora of older neighborhoods, which means large trees and lots of leaves. In terms of our market goals, we seek to recruit 63 new customers in the first year to cover overhead. We also hope to capture 15% of business from local competitive leaf removal companies. Looking at the customer pricing, the initial investment includes setup of a compost area on the property, which is a one-time investment of $50 to $100. Compost accelerator and a maintenance plan is included in the startup fee of $75. Thus, the average customer will invest $125 to $175 for initial setup, and then $200 per half acre each year on average. Those who wish to compost off-site will pay a flat startup fee of $100, though we anticipate most customers will utilize the on-property compost setup based on their lifestyle. For those with a yard full of garden beds, mulching is typically an annual part of routine maintenance. The cost of mulching depends on the size of the garden beds, but for a typical single-family home, the mulch itself is $200. Leaf collection and removal services average $300 a year. In addition to the financial cost savings, there are other benefits to using shredded leaf mulch. For example, it provides excellent drainage, naturally adjusts to pH levels in the soil, and protects from harsh weather conditions. Looking at the operations and human resources, capital equipment is minimal and straightforward, though it did require investment. Renting land in a warehouse provides the space for compost staging and equipment storage. The management team and owners are Lauren and David Burkhall. David manages the operations, management, and financial functions of the business. Lauren maintains client relationships, executes marketing, and human relations responsibilities. Leaf Compost is a limited liability company, which will protect our personal assets as we begin this small business endeavor. The staff beyond the management team is comprised of 2 landscape workers that are committed as hourly employees. This role executes the basic functions of leaf collection, composting, removal, and mulch creation under a manager's supervision. Workers will be screened for entry-level experience in maintenance, landscape, positive referrals, and a good driving record. Advanced bookkeeping, human relations, legal needs, and insurance will be purchased through external consultants and local agents. Taking a peek at the financial analysis, an initial investment of $10,000 covered startup costs, which include truck and equipment deposits, 3 months rent at the warehouse facility, and initial licensing, administrative, and marketing costs. This investment was made as a personal contribution by Lauren and David, the owners, following an inheritance. Generating revenue will be achievable early given the low monthly cost of the leaf compost business. Assuming the average customer requires 8 total man-hours per season across 2 jobs, the typical customer will generate $300 in gross revenue. In peak season, Leaf Compost must provide service to at least 15 jobs per week to cover the $3,255 of monthly fixed costs. Given that most customers require 2 leaf collection jobs in the fall, Leaf Compost must attract 93 new customers in its first year to maintain the weekly goal. If we can maintain an average of 15 jobs per week in peak season, Leaf Compost will cover fixed costs and begin generating profit in its first year of business. Transitioning your leaf removal company to Leaf Compost will benefit your family in more ways than one. Thank you.